Cutting the feet off is a compromise.
Fuck your fucking chair. Look, so the question is, should you wear shin guards when you train? You might be thinking, well, obviously, Is it that obvious though? Your common sense might tell you, but guess what? The more experienced you get in martial arts and in life in general, you'll start realizing that a lot of the things you thought were common sense were actually fam. They were actually they were actually holding you back. The pros to shin guards are you are less likely to get injured, so you can train more. You can go harder, so you can take more impact and therefore get stronger. And also, you don't have to think that much about where you're kicking. You can just get the reps in, kick, know that you're going to be protected. Life's great. Well, what are the cons to that? You'll actually find that those pros are also the cons, because you eliminate the risk of getting injured because you don't have to think as much about where you place your foot. That is training you to basically be spoiled. It's creating trust fund energy. In my opinion, it's actually better to face the consequences of what you've done and learn through accountability. So if you kick someone's elbow and you don't have shin guards on, it's gonna fucking hurt you. You're gonna have to take a few weeks off, maybe a few months if you really break your elbow. Guess what you're not gonna do? That same mistake again. So this is where the debate comes. Should you wear shin guards or should you not? Also, some other cons are they're cumbersome. They give you false feedback where they're a bit heavier. So when you throw your leg out, it doesn't feel the same as when you're fighting. And also, they're just not fundamentally realistic. That's the point. Like when you actually fight someone, you're not gonna be wearing shin guards. So is it realistic? Now the arguments to everything I'm saying is, well, people wear them for a reason. Like I'd rather wear shin guards than not, because if I don't wanna have to take 2 months off if I break my foot. Here's the debate, right? So let me put it to you like this. You only see Thais like Sanchai, Lerdzilla, Superlek, like Pakon, any of these high level Thais that go around Europe doing their seminars, they only wear shin guards when they're training with who? Europeans that don't have that much experience. When you see Thais training with each other at Yokkao, at the gyms, like in here, guess what they're not wearing? Shin guards. So when you've got Thais with 300 fights fighting another Thai with 300 fights, they've got 600 fights of experience in the ring, they never wear shin guards. They're throwing elbows in sparring, they're touching each other with bare shins. So it shows you at the higher level you go, the less you actually need it. Why is this? The guy that actually made me realize this was Arjan Pippa. They used to be the head coach of Jockey Gym, which is one of the best gyms of all time. Danny Bill, Lerdzilla, Silepatai, Sanchai, all these guys, like the highest level fighters of all time, the best Muay Famors, who are the highest technical fighters. They never ever wore shin guards. They hardly wore wraps, they hardly used gloves, only used gloves on the bags. Like, it was all a case of playing, actually learning through consequences. Look, so when you see Thai sparring, it's always in a way where they can touch each other over and over again and they just never get injured. And at the start, when you do this, you might find like with Henry, he's pulling his punches. He's like not actually touching me because he doesn't want to hurt me and he doesn't want to hurt himself. But then the better you get, the less you have to pull your punches, and you can actually just touch each other, but it's not really gonna hurt. One, because you get used to it over enough reps, enough months, enough years of one, taking the impact so you can hear that, but also knowing exactly where you're gonna place. So if I do this at the first time and I kick him in the knee with my toes and I kick him too hard, yes, it's gonna hurt me. But if I'm aspiring to be a martial artist for life, which I am and most of you should be, I know I'm gonna get over that injury eventually, hopefully, and I'll learn a lesson for next time. Whereas if I was wearing shin guards here and I kick him in the same place with those toes, but my toes are protected, and I don't get that feedback, I'm not gonna learn for next time. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not, how much am I really developing? I'm always talking about hard and soft skills. I want my hardness of my actual technique and my physicality to improve, but I want my soft skills of my awareness, my sensitivity, my balance, my proprioception, my neurological recruitment. Like, I want all of this stuff to improve at the same time, my coordination.
Cut the feet off. Cutting the feet off is a compromise.
Fuck your fucking chair. That's the most autistic interruption, man. It is a good point. I'll come on to that in a minute. But anyway, look, so the point is, not wearing shin guards is a very high ROI activity that is used by Muay Famors. Muay Famors is the technical fighters, the counter fighters, the ones that use good fight IQ and counter fighting and ring angles and different combinations of stuff. They don't just rely on trying to blitz through someone with just like raw power or something like that. And that requires a level of playfulness and like sensitivity and setups and this kind of thing, where we can only train like this. We can only train like this if we're nice and light and we can afford to touch each other. So Henry just kicked me there in the shin, he got me nicely, but I'm fine. I didn't get injured, he didn't get injured, because he went at an intensity that replicates real fighting without being too hard to the point where he gets injured and I get injured. This is also combined with the concept of playing. There has been many studies done where when you are in a state of play and joy, you absorb information so much easier. You can try this for yourself. Put yourself in a state of stress. Remember something really stressful and try and learn a new skill. When your adrenaline is high, when your nervous system is activated a lot, and you've got like tunnel vision, your reptilian brain is on, and you're like on overdrive, it's hard to retain information. Versus, think of something that makes you happy, go stroke a dog, do whatever, like make something, do something that puts you in a state of joy and presence and bliss like a little kid, which by the way is why kids learn so fast. Put yourself in that state, guess what? You're gonna learn a lot quicker, which is why you see Thais making the funny noises. They're smiling, they're joking, they're laughing, like everything's a game. Like if Henry kicks me, it's like, you got me. It's not like a case of, oh, fuck you kick me, no, I'm gonna fucking get you back, you like now we get all stiff and like now injuries are gonna happen and it becomes a fight. Like meanwhile, I'm not actually learning anything because it becomes a case of, fuck that guy, it becomes ego. Versus, he gets me, look, if he gets me, boom, oh yeah, he got me, like it's just fun. Like the whole thing's a joke. Like it all just becomes like joyous, and that's how you can reduce the injuries. Because when you're having fun, no one wants to get hurt because you don't want the fun to stop. You get what I'm saying? So actually, when you frame it like that, maybe shin guards are stopping you having fun. Take them off, realize that we can't afford to get hurt here, so let's just enjoy ourselves. Loads of benefits to that. Primarily, you absorb the information better. Make sparring a game, make it fun. Make it enjoyable. You are going to like accidentally get little niggles and injuries. Mate, it's Muay Thai. You're gonna get hurt a little bit, but don't go so hard those niggles really turn into big injuries. That's the thing you learn out in Thailand. Like when you go spar with Thais, and if you take it up too far, they'll literally just kick you out of the gym. They'll say, nah, you're an idiot, get out, we don't want you here. So it's about fitting in with the culture. It's about elevating each other. It's a communal thing, this. Like you wanna spar as a team. You wanna get better as a team. You don't wanna be that guy that's hurting each other. So these are the mindset tips that create joy and fun and longevity in your training. You get what I'm saying? Should we get an ad lib with a snack coming out of the shower? Hey, snack. Number one sexy fighter in Thailand, yeah? Snack's recently single, girls. So all the one woman that watches my channel, all one of you, eligible bachelor right there, recently broke up with his chick, hit him up, 19-year-old hot prospect from Udon Thani. I checked my analytics, I think I've got 2 women that follow me.
my mum and your mum, yeah.
It's literally, that's it. It's both our mums, so. Shout out Alison and Linda, such boomer white girl names. Right, look, I'm not trying to demonize shin guards here because they both have pros and cons. The pros is that you're simulating a fight with shin guards. Because you don't have the risk of injury as much and you've got this mental confidence of not hurting your feet as much, I can really start hitting Henry, which is going to activate our fight or flight and get us more ready for a realistic fight. Because when you get in the ring for the first few times, it is scary. I mean, it's always scary, but until you really get used to seeing Muay Thai as a game and you're at that like veteran Thai level of it, is all just sabai, it's just fun. You're gonna be nervous and you're gonna be seeing like that fucking fight or flight type red mist that a lot of people get, and you're not gonna really be able to control your power as much. So it's good to simulate that in your early days training. So when you've got shin guards on, you can do that, which is what Dutch drilling is for and hard sparring. So now when we play around, we can definitely afford to kick each other a bit harder. If we go shin for shin now, or even not shin to shin, and he just kicks me on the leg, I can take it with less damage than if he just had a bare shin. Say I go to check it, like that isn't gonna hurt me as much. Say I kick him in the elbow, just hit your elbow there, and I come up and I smash my shin into his elbow like that, it doesn't do anything. So I can afford to get away with more and just hit him a bit harder. The cons to that is, as we discussed before, like it's conditioning me to not pay as much attention. So you've now got to be the judge of your own training and decide what stage of development am I in. If you're a complete beginner, I would advise doing both, but you understand, again, watch all my videos and you hear me consistently talk about intention and specificity. You have to ask yourself, what do I want out of this session? Pay the attention to what you're doing. If I know this is a shin guard session today, I'm gonna really focus on simulating that fight response, like making sure Henry can kick me hard, making sure I'm taking it, making sure when I return, I'm kicking him here, and it's like really, I'm really focusing on the intensity of the sparring. And when I do these shin guard sessions, I'm structuring them in. I'm going, okay, 1 or 2 sessions a week are going to be intense, conditioning-based stuff where I'm simulating a real fight. Then we take them off for my other sessions. So if you're a part-timer, you might do like 2 to 4 sessions a week. Maybe do 1 or 2 sessions with shin guards, get loads of volume in, do your Dutch drilling, do some hard sparring. Maybe once a week on Saturday, have a day off on Sunday. Then the other 2 sessions, just take the shin guards off and then know that when you're going in, okay, I'm not going for intensity now. I'm gonna be wary of my accuracy, my sensitivity. I wanna make more of a game out of it. I wanna be touching. Like he's gonna go kick me, okay, I can take that one. Even when we clash shins and we check, say he checks, boom. Here, you can still check, go. I can still check. And the better I get and the more experience I get, I can take that and it's not going to cause me as much damage. But again, the shin guard, training without shin guards, it takes longer to get more familiar with it. So don't rush it. Because if you're a complete beginner and you just go and start smashing each other without shin guards, you're going to get injured, obviously. So my point is, take both, know where you're at, and eventually start filtering out shin guards. You come out to Thailand, you train with the top level guys, they don't even wear them ever. Like they spar like as they fight, and then the fight is just a bit more intense version of sparring, but it's basically the same thing. It's fun. Treat it as fun, as a game. Fuck shin guards. Make sure you're following my Twitter, Insta, join the free Telegram, join Don Dojo if you haven't. It's only $44 a month. You're gonna get access to all my knowledge, connect with like 50 other guys that are all pro fighters. They're all having their first fight. They're all entrepreneurs as well. Also join my mailing list in the description and the pinned comment. I'll send you free workouts, all that kind of thing. So stay training as well, obviously. Stay training and drop a comment if you want me to make a particular video in future. Boom.